Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing pre-med versus medical student. We're going to dive in and see what the actual difference is in terms of the daily routines, study habits, classes people take, and free time that they have. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about how to ease your transition from undergraduate to medical school, because it's important that you become prepared for what you're about to encounter, because it is a ride. And as always, this video is presented by TME Consulting. All of our information will be in our bio. So before we get started, I just want to let you know, if you are pre-med, keep working hard. Hard work always pays off. It always has dividends, and it always contributes to success. Any medical student will say that if you continue working hard in your undergraduate years, that will hopefully transition into medical school and you'll be very successful. So I want to break down this video in terms of a lot of the popular topics that pre-med sort of ask. We're going to break this down and dive a little bit deeper into the studying that goes into being a pre-med and med student. We're going to talk about the classes that you take as a pre-med and med student. We're going to talk about what free time do you have, because shockingly, medical students do have free time. And then we're going to discuss a little bit how you could ease your transition from your undergraduate years to your medical school career. So let's dive into the studying aspect of it real quick, because when you go to medical school, you better believe you're going to increase the amount of time you're studying. So as a pre-med, it's very variable. So you have some students that take the bare minimum of 12 credits, you have a lot of students that take 15 credits, and you have some people that really press hard and take around 20 credits. So we should note that when you're in undergrad, you're taking classes that are level 100, 200, 300, 400, and while those classes get difficult, the amount of material can build up, but it's not necessarily very in-depth and at high volume. Compared to medical school, when you get to medical school, you're taking classes around the 700 level, so they require you to have very vast knowledge. However, when it comes to studying, you see an increase in studying because of just the sheer volume that you receive. I mean, people always make the analogy that you're drinking from a fire hydrant right away, and that's beyond true. For us, at least, we see anywhere between probably 150 to 250 pages of notes a week, and we have to know most of the information kind of cold by at least Wednesday before we start live sessions. So you can imagine that you're going to be studying a lot when it comes to medical school. But keep in mind, as we move on the video, it's not all studying. So let's talk about classes. So hopping into classes, there's a big difference between pre-med and medical school classes. When you're pre-med, you sort of have to take classes that are required by our school. You're taking a lot of your gen eds in the beginning of your years, and then later on you're going to be diving into a lot of the science coursework if you're a science major. Once you get to medical school, they are obviously hyper-focused on medicine. And, that is actually beneficial, because you see sort of a shift from having to know very detailed, the structure of biochemical molecules, to anywhere between the exact enzymes and glycolysis, and it shifts to a more broader view of everything. And I think you sort of pan out when you get to medical school in terms of looking at everything from that 4,000 foot view, where you could see a lot more and you could sort of interpret data. And that's really more important when it comes to healthcare, because it's all about reading trends. It's not about knowing specific enzymes or specific molecules. It's more about knowing trends. So a lot of the classes that you take in medical school, such as physiology, anatomy, neurobiology, biochemistry, microanatomy, a lot of them are very deep in knowledge, but they also don't really hold you accountable for nitty-gritty details that undergrad does. So I would actually say that the classes in medical school are a little bit easier to handle and to digest, and I wouldn't say that the material is impossible for anybody to handle by any means. It's just the volume that sort of builds up and makes medical school difficult. So let's dive into everybody's favorite topic, which is free time. As I stated in the beginning of the video, yes, you do have free time in medical school. I think free time is extremely important. It allows you to sort of defuse from all the work that you're doing. A lot of students sort of choose what they want to do in their free time and almost make it so they almost don't have a free time. A lot of students choose to do research, choose to help out at local clinics. And you have the ability to choose to do that. And that's sort of nice about medical school, is you have the freedom to help out where you think help is needed. And that's always important because we're going into a career that is always helping and always trying to learn. So whether you want to get involved in research, whether you want to get involved in a clinic, is always important during your free time. However, you also have time to do things that you love. You have time to play sports. You have time to watch TV. You have time to play the guitar, go see family. That's the beauty of it, is that at least where, I go to school, a lot of it is delivered online, and a lot of it, the in-class sessions aren't too time consuming, so you could sort of make your own schedule, which is nice. Obviously that varies between schools. Some require you to go to class, some have a ton of in-person sessions. However, I think that they would also agree that free time does come, especially after you're done taking a big exam, so definitely take advantage of it when you get it. So let's talk about how to ease your transition to medical school, because I think it's really important that you do prepare yourself, especially if you're a pre-med looking to go to medical school and you've already sent in your application. You need to start prepping for what medical school is going to be like. And the only thing that I want to leave you with this section is to challenge yourself. And what I mean by that is that if you hear a class is extremely hard, challenge yourself and take it. Anything that comes out of that class, hopefully you just work hard through it. You'll learn not to give up. You'll learn to keep your head down and just push through and grind. And I think that that's very important because when it comes to medical school, once you get accepted, you don't want to give up. You work so hard to get there. You work so hard to accomplish your goal. You're not going to want to give up while you're there. So my only thing to say is challenge yourself. Make yourself valuable. Help people whenever you can. And you'll be all set for medical school if you keep that in mind. So as always, thank you so much for watching the video. You can contact us at trifectameconsulting@gmail.com, and you can visit our website at www.trifectameconsulting.com. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and throw us a like. Check our Facebook page out, and we recently got an Instagram page as well if you want to throw us a follow there. I appreciate your time. Hope you have a good one.